It's a subtle shift, quiet, almost invisible. And unless you're paying attention, you might never notice it. Most people never mention it, yet it's a moment that changes everything. Let's break down when things start to shift and when it might actually make sense to stop saving. There comes a point when saving money stops making sense. And no, it's not because saving and investing is bad or because suddenly you're rich enough to throw money around. It's not that at all. Stop saving and investing. First, make sure to hit the like button, which will help others see this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you can see more videos like this, sharing things most people never mention. In the beginning, every dollar you put away moves the needle and directly builds your wealth, right? If you have $1,000, $10,000, or $75,000, most of your portfolio growth is the result of you putting money in. You watch your account grow, and that progress keeps you motivated to continue adding more. Each deposit is a small victory. You feel in control. But fast forward 10 or 15 years, and that same weekly deposit barely registers. But why? Your portfolio is growing on its own, quietly and relentlessly, and the effort you're putting in feels almost pointless. The same habits that built your wealth start to lose their power. Think about the early days of investing. Every dollar you stash away feels like it counts for something huge. You skip a $20 takeout lunch, clip a coupon, or shop around for a cheaper subscription. It all adds up. When your portfolio is small, these little wins are real progress. You can almost see the difference they make. But here's the thing. As your investments grow, those tiny savings start to feel, well, tiny. Imagine adding drops of water to a fast-flowing river. Your effort still matters, but the river itself is carrying most of the power. That's your growing portfolio in action, quietly doing the heavy lifting for you. The irony is that many people keep obsessing over these small wins long after they've stopped moving the needle. Hours spent clipping coupons or chasing discounts, they could have made far more of an impact by just reviewing their investments, adjusting allocations, or taking one smart, tax-efficient step. Those coupons might save them a few $100s a year, but a slight tweak to their financial plan could mean thousands. So at some point, the question isn't, how can I save more? It's, how can I make what I've already saved work harder? So when exactly does it make sense to stop saving and investing? Let's say you're just beginning to invest and you set aside $8,400 per year. That's 10% of the median U.S. household income, a pretty reasonable amount. For the foreseeable future, your contributions are literally building the foundation. Every deposit feels powerful because it directly grows your portfolio, while profits are basically nothing. But once you've built up $100,000 or so in investments, your $8,400 contribution is still meaningful, but it's starting to share the spotlight with growth. At a 10% return, which is the long-term average of the S&P 500, your $100,000 is generating $10,000 on its own. Your contribution of $8,400 is now slightly less than what your investments are already earning automatically. The early effort is still important, but compounding is beginning to take over. At $500,000 invested, your annual $8,400 contribution becomes a rounding error. Your portfolio generates about $50,000 in growth at 10% compared to the $8,400 you add manually. That means your contributions are only responsible for 17% of the portfolio's growth here, compared to almost 100% at the start. The returns on your existing investments now far outpace your contributions. You can see how each additional dollar you invest has less impact on your overall growth. Compounding has become the dominant engine. By the time you've accumulated $1 million, your $8,400 annual contribution barely moves the needle. Your portfolio is now generating roughly $100,000 per year in growth. Your original contributions, which once felt enormous, have become almost insignificant compared to the momentum your investments have built. This is exactly the point where saving more stops making a practical difference, and your focus should shift to managing, protecting, and optimizing the wealth you've already created. Unless you're boosting your contributions fast enough to keep pace with your portfolio's exponential growth, each one becomes a smaller piece of the overall picture. This is the point where continuing to pour money into your portfolio makes little practical difference. Your wealth is now running on its own momentum, and yet for some, hitting these milestones isn't enough. They continue saving and investing aggressively well past the point of necessity, and for reasons that don't make complete sense. Think of someone who has $50 million. They don't stress over saving every dollar. Their focus isn't working harder. It's managing, preserving, and growing what they already have. They think like investors, not earners. That's what changes when compounding takes over. Think of building wealth like pushing a massive boulder up a steep hill. At first, it's grueling. Every small win is earned inch by inch. You're budgeting, clipping coupons, investing carefully, and it's slow. You see progress, but it's just enough to keep going. This is the stage where your effort truly matters. Then something magical happens. If you've been consistent, patient, and disciplined, the boulder finally crests the hill. Suddenly, it starts rolling. And here's the exciting part. It keeps going on its own. Momentum kicks in. You're no longer the one powering the growth. Your money is. But here's the incredible part. Once the boulder reaches the top, it doesn't just roll on its own, it accelerates, unstoppable, picking up speed with almost a mind of its own. That's exactly how a compounding portfolio works. Your money, carefully saved and invested over years, suddenly starts growing faster and faster every year, faster than you can realistically spend it. Trying to slow it down would take real effort, massive withdrawals, reckless spending, because the momentum is built into the system. That's the power of compounding in motion. Unstoppable, self-sustaining, and exhilarating. You're not just watching your wealth grow, you're riding its momentum. But here's the thing. The boulder only begins rolling if it's pushed the right way. If you're pushing it aimlessly or not giving it direction, you can't expect it to crest the hill and begin moving on its own. Cash left sitting idle or trapped in ultra-conservative funds because people are too cautious or never get around to investing halts momentum, keeping your wealth stuck at the starting line. But once your investments are aligned, the growth is unstoppable. The effort you put in years ago suddenly multiplies. The numbers start rising faster, and you can finally see, in real time, the power of compounding working for you. Now think of someone who spent decades building a habit of saving and investing as a gardener tending to a slow-growing orchard. Every day, they water the trees, prune the branches, and pull weeds. At first, the effort seems monumental and directly translates to the tree's well-being. Each seedling requires attention. Each small victory feels earned. Over time, this care becomes second nature. The gardener doesn't just tend the orchard out of necessity anymore, it's part of who they are. For these natural savers, saving is instinct. They budget meticulously, track every expense, clip coupons, and check their portfolio regularly. It's a discipline woven into the fabric of daily life. Even after years of compounding, that instinct doesn't just fade, it's baked into their identity. They've got millions in the bank, but they'll still clip a coupon at McDonald's. Just like some people can't stop spending, others can't stop saving. Their diligence keeps them contributing to their investments long after the numbers suggest they could ease up. They keep watering the orchard even though the trees are now towering, bearing fruit on their own. Saving is still worthwhile, but it barely makes a dent. They could easily step back without losing the growth they've cultivated. Now imagine a couple who's reached the financial milestone they've been chasing for years. They've lived on $75,000 per year, dreaming of retiring on $200,000 annually, and have $5 million saved, enough to fund that lifestyle comfortably with a 4% withdrawal rate. By all measures, they've made it. But instead of upgrading their lifestyle or enjoying what they've earned, they keep living exactly as they always have. They stay in the same modest home for years, never making upgrades or changes. Their cars stay around for 10 or 15 years, even when newer models come out. They skip longer vacations, avoid splurging on experiences, and never move into a bigger home, even though they could easily afford it. Their lifestyle remains frozen, sticking to the habits and routines that built their wealth in the first place. It's not about necessity. They could spend freely. The truth is, spending that money feels unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. After decades of disciplined saving and cautious choices, frugality has just become their default. Their wealth continues to grow, their goals are fully met, yet their lifestyle barely changes. All the signals say that they could slow down, ease up, and enjoy the fruits of their labor, but psychologically, they hesitate. The money is there, yet they hold back, unsure if spending it is truly safe or justified. Now, it's important to be clear. It's not that contributing to investments stops making sense entirely. Your contributions are still valuable, and every extra dollar helps build wealth no matter where you are in your journey. But as your investments grow, the impact of each additional contribution becomes smaller and smaller. Reviewing your investments, optimizing your allocations, and ensuring your money is working efficiently becomes far more impactful than any small increase in savings. So there you have it. Continuing to save and invest stops making sense when your contributions are dwarfed by exponential returns and when you've surpassed your goals. Yet many people ignore these signs that scream, "Stop saving money," and continue amassing a large nest egg that they'll never fully utilize.